If you've ever wondered what a disaster zone looks like, this is it. But I have a plan. Right then, as you can see, it's a bit of a disaster zone at the moment, but I have a plan. I have no time to do this, so I've booked a week off work, and not really liking the lights I got off AliExpress. Really not digging them at all. Let me just get a power supply to them. Right, we dialed in at 2 volts, and I'm just having a look at options for marker lights, etc. So these are 2 volt orange LEDs, but these lights that go just below the windscreen, I'm not really a big fan of them. Right, that's them just there. Which way your hand is supposed to go? That way. So I'll shit brick. So these are, let me zoom it in a little bit. These are downlights, right? So they shine into the reflector, and it's how the real ones are actually doing it. But let me just crank that up to 3 volts. There. Now I don't really think they are very good. Not really. It's not a very big light. So what I've decided to do, that's 3.5 volts. Let me just pull that down to 3 volts. That's 3 volts. Not really that bright. So let's take them off and show you how bright these are at exactly the same voltage. Are you ready for this? Let me bring you over here a bit. Now that is bright. So I will be using these, and let me bring you down. So modifying the back of the lights, the stock lights, I'm going to be bonding those in the backs. So they are the mid lights, these are the roof lights. Oop, let me get you that way. So they're going to be mega bright, and this is what they are. They're just a surface mount LED. Show you that. So that's how big that is. It's got its own heatsink on the back. So I'll be driving those at 3 volts. Now on the main headlight, you can see that a standard LED, let me just grab one from over here. I believe it sits downwards like that, because I don't think it sits like that. Let's have a look in the wishing book. Yeah, they do. They shine down, which means that they're relying on the reflector So I'm going to modify those holders and put one of them in the back. So they are uber bright. Let me get this wired into a let me zoom you out a bit now. Out. Let me just zoom you. So if I put those downwards, so if they are downlight, they look a lot brighter on camera. Mind you, I think the makeup with I will try because that one in there, see the indicator goes into that hole just there, and for me to put that there is wrong, so I might have to do a little modification just to get that there. And the other thing is, let me turn that down to 2 volts, 2.05, and let me just show you how shocking the indicator is. That is a standard orange LED. Come over this way a bit, and that pushes in the back. See how that's crap, that is rubbish. Not very much indicator on that. So I did try and trim off the edge of that so it would push down into that further down, and then let's see what that looks like. Still looks a bit you know, not very good. So that's supposed to be the turn signal indicator. So then I tried to put some of this inside by filing it down. I spent ages filing it down and it didn't work. So I'm going to try and fill that up with orange resin and try that. So yeah, I've got 6 of those for the headlights, 2 for the low spotlights, 2 for the high spotlights. So that's going to be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of those. So yeah, gonna put some in the back of the tower lights. But anyway, waffle. This is going to be quite involving. I've got to make a complete wiring loom up, and I need to write everything down. I then need to get cracking, because if you step away for too long, you lose where you are, and I need that time. So what I've done is, the first week of July, I have a week off work. So this is going to be a little project that I'm going to complete in the first week of July, completely at rest at my bench. So in the meantime, all this is going to get pushed to the side, because I have another little project that I am going to do. Anyway, let's tidy this bench up and I'll show you what I'm going to be doing. Right, I've got a clear space. A friend has asked me to help out with wiring up a trailer to work with his MFC. And how hard can it be, I hear you say? Well, he bought this trailer with an aftermarket bumper, and it's been stood for quite a while. It's a Hercules Hobby trailer. I didn't build it, this is just how I got it. So the guy wants me to wire in the Tamiya wiring loom into this aftermarket one, and you would have thought just match the colours up. I'm not sure that's going to work. We shall see. This is for a very good friend of mine, and I said I'd do it for him. So to get me in the mood for wiring, I will crack on with it. So at first glance, I'm going to get a disaster in a minute. I've noticed that the wheels are a bit not bad, not great, very bad, and there is no, it's solid. The hell is that all about? Oh, and another thing, he wants me to put on some electric legs. So there's the light kit that I think he's already robbed the lead out of. No, he hasn't. This is a complete light kit. So I'm not going to use too much of that, because he has a truck that I wired up for him with the MFC plug. So I will need to fix these together, and yeah, just something for me to do. So I'm going to have to get one of my trucks out that has an MFC, so I can wire it all up. First I'm going to take the wheels off and see why this suspension doesn't move. We're getting a bit carried away there. Axles on. They have an amount of free play now, so not an awful lot's needed, but it's good enough for me. And took the rear bumper off to start the wiring. This is a standard Tamiya light kit. The blue and green is the stop and tail light, green being plus and blue being minus. Orange and yellow are a turn signal, and so is brown and red. That's why I've fanned them out like that. Now on the bumper there is a little bit to watch out for. The middle wire is for the two lights either side of the number plate. Now on these, the circuit boards are exactly the same, only this one on this side is flipped over. So you've got your side lights and your indicators and your reverse lights, right? So on, let me just see if it's the right way. Yeah, right way around. So this I'm calling the bottom because the two wires come straight down, so I'm calling that the bottom of the bumper. And I've separated these 6 wires. Great to see that they're actually copper wire, because that makes soldering a lot easier. And you can see I've also fanned those out. Excuse me. And so on this side we have the lights at the bottom, these 3 at the bottom. Then we have the middle being the indicators and the top one being the reverse light. And on the other side it's opposite because the whole circuit board's twisted round. So the top one here is the lights, the middle is the indicator still, but the bottom one is now the reverse lights, only because they've been swapped over. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hardwire in the reverse lights. I'm going to hardwire those in, these two, because they're never going to change from reverse lights. Same with the tail lights. I'm going to hardwire those in, but I'm going to put some JSTs in on these, because depending on how you set your MFC up, it could be left and right indicators, and this is going to be not possible to change unless we put in some JSTs. So I'm going to get my crimper out and put in that, so if we need to swap them from left to right we can quite easily. The reverse lights don't come through this Tamiya MFC plug lead, so I will be making a circuit to run the length of the trailer into the MFC to a Y lead. So let me get that all soldered together, and I'll show you the end result when we get there. And it is done as far as the wiring goes. I have wired it all into the MFC, and it will work with the 01 and 03, and it looks pretty good. So let's start the engine. And indicators are if I can get them to work. That's left turn and right turn and hazard. And side lights. And because of the nature of the MFC, the side lights and brake lights are on the same circuit. It's currently around about 3 volts going through them now, so when we put the brakes on they will brighten up. Let me turn the main light off on this one. turn the side lights off so we can see the brake lights. Hamburgers, they look pretty sweet. Yeah, because of the nature of the lights, these middle ones, they just glow red, the same as the thing. But I can hear you all screaming, but has it got reversing lights because it's an MFC? Well, yes it does. So yeah, that's pretty sweet. That is pretty good. So I am super happy with that. Let me just show you underneath and show you what I've done, because some of the MFCs, they go left or right and sometimes it's reversed. So what I have done is I've put JST connectors so we can just unplug both of them and swap them round, and that's all I've done. So yeah, pretty happy with that. Now to put on the electric legs for him. Right, the legs, they are just manual ones on here at the moment, so I'm going to do this. I'm not going to use the stupid method of putting the tubing around the electrical connections. I will be soldering it, and this box has already been opened, but it's not been assembled. Don't know if anything's been used or anything, but there's a fifth wheel there that looks interesting. Right, let's get those legs off and build this up. Right then, that's it done. I weren't going to bore you to death with hours and hours of soldering and planning on everything. So just to show you what I've done, I have put in some cable tidies in there. I've put some JST connectors on there for quick release if we need to swap the indicators around. Same with the reverse lights and tail lights, so all that's quick release, and that's relatively it. I've yeah, got some more movement in the suspension and freed up these wheels, so they're all good, and fitted electric legs. Not having the mechanism to actuate the legs from the fifth wheel. This is a Hercules trailer. I haven't got all the parts in the box, and the guy's just going to operate it with the switch, which I have put just here in front, not behind, because of this sidebar. And yeah, it's easy to get to, so obviously push the switch up is for up, and obviously wind them down, they come down. Now I don't know why Tamiya don't use a momentary switch, because you could leave that on and it just stays on. So I think that should be a momentary switch where you pull it down and it stops. The wiring is you know, I've kept the battery pack just behind the side skirt, so it's easy to get to. There's no real surface. This is not really very good to stick to. So 2 batteries to make it go up, 2 batteries to make it go down. So you do need, that's how it's done. And I've just rewired the whole thing. I haven't got the micro switches over here at the front, so yeah, it's not the neatest of wiring, but it's not going to snag, it's not going to fall down. It is cable tied up, and yes, we are good to go. So that is for a really good friend of mine called Ed Ruskin, and those that know him will know he has achieved a great deal considering his personal limitations. Wiring seems to be his kryptonite, and we all have some kind of kryptonite. Mine's mathematics and numbers. My head just starts to fizz when I see numbers. Wiring is his, so we help each other out. Good to go. And the next thing to do is to get that beastie working. It looks a lot higher than the MAN. I've got a week off work booked to get that done. I need that time. I haven't got time, so I've made some, and I've booked a week off work. That is purely to get that done. Nothing else is planned for that week. A whole wiring loom throughout the chassis. Lots and lots of lights, as you've already seen at the beginning of this video. So stay tuned, because that is going to get the works, the treatment. That's going to be the dog's danglies. So stay frosty, folks, and bear with me, and I'll just give you some tasters as that comes along. So ta-da for now.